2 SWAT team trucks. And then I remember them dragging my dad out the house, and that was it. That was the last time I saw him until I was 20.
She got knocked down in front of me and she died.
Oh, wow. And then my aunt was like, your mom has gotten a real bad car accident, and you gotta pack your sister's stuff up, you and your sister's stuff up.
Yeah, they had a fight, and I think she was baking because the oven was hot. And he held her hand down on it.
I've never been outed before until that moment, and it happened literally in front of my face.
Right.
He outed me.
He started running around telling people that I was gay, and I stole his man. Me being outed at home, being put out by my dad and his family, and to this day they still don't fuck with me. I'm just wondering if there's something.
Welcome back, YouTube, to another episode of the Gay Safe Space with
Kerry
and Pierre. We wanted to bring y'all a serious topic today. Just wanted to peel back the layers of trauma and how that affects the gay community, how that has affected us, and what we've done and tools and things we may have to help us actually overcome those obstacles.
In some form or fashion, each and every one of us have experienced trauma, and it is so crazy. As black people, we are such resilient people. It almost is instilled in our lifestyle, right? That it's normal. It's normal, and a lot of things that, is actually trauma and traumatic experiences for us, because of the resilience we've been taught since we were kids, it's just something to get over and something to just get by and move on from.
Yeah.
And in some cases, we even forget we've gone through some of those experiences because there is some safe in the back there that we've learned to just pack all those experiences in and just move on like it never happened.
But we all know, that is not healthy, because that is how it comes out in other ways you don't know. You might have a short temper, you might have words that trigger you and you don't even know why it triggers you. Well, it's because that trauma that went on back in 99 that you haven't talked about or overcome yet, and it's affecting you later on in life. So we just wanted to have that conversation because we know as gay black men, we
have experienced a lot of trauma.
So yeah.
It's stuff that we really never speak about.
Right.
And, we've both been to therapy, so we know the fundamental value it holds.
Yes.
But in a lot of cases, again, the black community do not believe in it. Right. So that being said, let's jump into it.
Right. So first I wanted to start off with the definition of trauma. That way we all can be on the same page early on. And the definition is a deeply distressing or disturbing experience.
Right.
So how many of us has had one of those?
Right.
I know I have.
So let's talk about us for a second, right? Let's talk about any sort of traumatic experience you would have had or experienced as a kid or someone growing up as a young adult.
Before I even start with that.
Being a gay person specifically, like what sort of traumatic experiences were you faced growing up and you had to overcome, or even just put to the back of your mind and move on like it never happened?
No, great. That's a great question. But even before I even dive into that, y'all, when it comes to these experiences that we've had, or even the experience that I'm gonna share, talking to KJ, it just opened up a whole nother thing, a whole nother level to our relationship, and it actually made it better. And that's how we actually came about even having this conversation now with y'all, because these are personal conversations we have amongst each other.
Absolutely.
And it actually made me know him even more, vice versa.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure I said that.
The one thing I could safely say regarding us personally, we have, because we speak so much and we have so much communication among us, we've actually unpacked a lot of trauma together.
Didn't even know it was trauma.
Right, and in a lot of cases, we didn't even recognize at the
shit.
time it was trauma.
But Iyanla helped us. She helped us.
She did.
I was like, whoa, like so much stuff I have realized now that I'm in my 30s that I've been
Absolutely.
like, wow, that is trauma.
Trauma.
That really happened.
Yeah.
And you forget, like, wow, that happened.
You forget. you definitely forget. And again, that is part of the mechanism we've been taught as kids growing up and as young adults, that these things are going to happen to you and that's just part of your experience. And even if you were not taught that, especially as a gay person, because most of the times your parents aren't gay and your family members aren't gay and they don't know what type of tools to give you.
Don't know.
Right? So you go through all of these experiences alone, largely, and in a lot of cases, who do you turn to? No, you gotta move on from it because it is what it is.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, but we
So
just
back to
wanted
the
lay
question.
that out. But I guess the earliest experience that I would say would be trauma would be when my dad actually got locked up. He got locked up. He went to prison. Our house got raided when I was 6 years old. We were sitting in the living room watching TV, and the next thing you know, the SWAT team just came in and with the thing and knocked down the door and guns out, just yelling. It was just all chaos. And I don't know, I just remember getting like snatched out of the house. I don't know, we ended up on the porch, and when we went out on the porch, the whole block was blocked off. There were people all on the other side just watching the show.
Right.
And then it was two SWAT team trucks. And then I remember them dragging my dad out the house, and that was it. That was the last time I saw him until I was 20 or 21 was when he got out of prison. So that whole experience, I didn't even know that was trauma. I haven't even told anybody, even that I was in a relationship, that story besides KJ. So it was very interesting, unpacking that whole scenario.
But yeah, for me, the first traumatic experience I had as a kid, I was actually very young. When I think I was 4 years old, 5 years old probably, and I was going to school, and you know how you're in school and you'd have like close girlfriend or whatever. So I had a girlfriend at 4 years old, just somebody who sat next to me really. And we always would eat together and that kind of nonsense.
Been pimping. 4 years old, y'all.
Right. But this morning, I think it was a Tuesday morning, my parents dropped me off to school, and she got knocked down in front of me and she died.
Oh wow.
That was the first traumatic experience I had as a kid. And then soon after that was when we left and we moved to Grenada.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it was.
I couldn't imagine seeing that as a kid.
That was a hella traumatic experience.
Actually,
like I didn't even understand what had happened because I was young. But yeah, and again, something that just I moved on from because so much happened right after that. What are you gonna do with it?
Have you ever had a conversation with somebody about that? Or
no,
your
because
sisters,
Mama, you probably don't remember when we spoke about this, but I told you, that memory was so deep and far. I only remember that in one of our conversations.
No, yeah, not me, but I'm just saying, all these years until you met me.
I never spoke about it. Never spoke about it. It just happened. I never spoke about it.
So the next day, y'all just went to school like it was just, another day,
just
time to take
day.
a test.
Just another day. There wasn't no test taken or anything like that, but it was a school day.
Right.
There was an accident the day prior. We lost a student. But everybody's lives continued. and everybody had to like find a way to deal with it and move on. Ooh. So, yeah. So yeah.
One thing I will say, man, you have a lot of traumatic experience. That's a baby one compared to the shit that your ass has been through. I will say. I mean, I can't say that's a baby one because the death is the worst.
I mean,
but you that happened to you it's a lot to get you to this point right now. So
speak on it.
Hats off to you on that one, babe.
Speak on that. That's a testament. Toast to KJ.
Toast.
So let's talk about your second traumatic experience. Let's speak on that.
All right. So another traumatic experience for me that really stands out was when my mom got in a car crash. She got in a car crash. I'm just gonna paint the story like it.
I mean, you were a kid.
It played out.
Yeah.
So I woke up one day and my little sister told me that my aunt was on the phone and she was like, she's saying something happened to mom. Like I guess my aunt didn't tell her. She was just telling me like, I don't know. But then my sister was real worried because she was like, I don't know. She not telling me what happened to mom. And then, so she gave me the phone and then my aunt was like, your mom has gotten a real bad car accident and you gotta pack your sister's stuff up, you and your sister's stuff up, and we gonna come to get y'all. I was like, is she okay? And she was like, we don't know. It's not looking good. And even me at 12 years old, I just was like, I didn't cry or anything. My sisters was already crying and run around the house. So I just went and gathered all their stuff, their clothes, and I just waited for, I don't know if it was my aunt or my grandma who picked us up. But that was just a real traumatic experience because we were left in the dark for so long because my mom was in the hospital for what felt like months.
Right.
She was in there and we didn't know what was going on. And I remember like staying over my grandma's house and me and my brother, we would like overhear the conversations that she was having, talking about my mom and stuff, and we would just be crying the whole time, and it was just a lot of bad. That time frame was just really a really bad time.
How did you feel when you saw her again?
Well, before I saw her again, I found out what happened with the car crash. Her friend was driving her car, my mom was in the passenger side, and her friend's kids were in the back seat. And her friend, drinking and driving, drove into the other lane and hit a truck head on. And one of her kids didn't have any bruises, walked out with nothing. My mom was horrible. Her leg was broke. She was in a wheelchair for months, and almost, I want to say, a whole year. But when I saw her, when they finally let us go to the hospital, and I was in the 5th grade at this time. I was in the 5th grade when this all happened. I just remember seeing her, and I just was like trying not to cry. My brother was crying. It just was a really bad time. And then we saw her kids, my mom's friends' kids. They all was in the same hospital, and I just remember their face being so swole.
What about her friend?
I forgot what happened to her. Some stuff happened to her too. They all just looked bad. It just was really bad besides one of the kids. And it just, that was a whole experience. And that was
definitely traumatic.
Yeah, and I just was like, I really blocked that out. And that's another story I don't think I really told to anybody I've been with. All that stuff, it comes back around when you get older. So that's why I kind of like me and you having these conversations with one another and just being able to be ourselves in that moment and not necessarily relive how we felt, but just talk about it. And
I mean, yeah, relive in a sense too, because, I guess reliving it and just going through that emotion kind of helps you to release it. because it doesn't have the same weight now speaking about it again that it had when we initially spoke about it.
This is true.
So,
because I remember I talked with one of the kids that actually was in a car crash with my mom. And I remember one day, this was back in like 2012, right before I moved to Florida.
Right.
Like, we talked about it. I was like, wow, this really feels good because we never talked about it before.
Yeah.
Like,
so it really does. Like,
and
speaking
just
about
hearing his side and just experiencing that car crash, I can't imagine having that experience.
Yeah, and that's trauma on his end as well. So every single person in there. All right. that was mighty heavy. That was mighty heavy.
Yeah.
I think the second traumatic experience I had as a kid would be when we moved to Grenada. So my dad has been a Casanova all his life, still is, reigning supreme. And at some point their relationship did get abusive, and there's 4 kids in the house. Of course, we're privy to that because it wasn't a big house. And eventually, I remember that night actually before she took us and she just left with us. They had a fight, and I think she was baking because the oven was hot. And he held her hand down on it, right? And I mean, we're all in the house as kids screaming, wondering like, what the hell is going on? And like 2 days after, we were in Grenada, moving into her mom's home. And that wasn't a good experience either. So I think we went from one traumatic household into the next because her mom was not very nice to her. I don't know if she felt like she was bringing her burdens onto her. I don't know what it was, but she did not treat us nicely. Till eventually we did move and my mom got her own spot, but those 2 experiences were terrible. And those were, again, I was young. This was like between 4 and 6.
What was she doing that was like when y'all moved to your grandma's? Because you already said what your dad
Okay,
did.
so for example, like we would go out to she would take us to the pasture, which is like the park, to like a sport event or to hang out or whatever. And if she thought that we were out too late, she would lock the door. She refused to give her a key. She would lock the door. Like she would, stupid stuff like that she would do. And now we're outside, 5 of us. And then she come and do it on her time, and she just did stupid stuff like that to torture us for no reason. She's just evil. Remember I told you,
I remember.
Because I remember we passed.
And I was wondering, I'm like, dang, why you...
Yeah, we passed by her old house and I showed him.
Way.
And I was like, that was our grandmother's home because she passed away now. And yeah, I was like, that's her old home. And my sister made a comment that made him go,
Yeah,
But yeah, she was not a nice lady at all. So, yeah. But that being said, that was another experience. But I want to move on to speak more about the first gay traumatic experience you had, because at some point after the list of traumatic experience we had as children and as kids growing up, we eventually got to the point where we got curious, we got sexual, we got into puberty, we got into adulthood, and now that side of us was ever present, and now we want to explore. So tell me about the first traumatic gay experience you had.
I may have talked about this. I'm not sure if we did earlier, when we first started.
A video from back there.
Yeah, way back. I might have shared a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely want to share this because this was the most traumatic experience.
Right.
I was working at Sam's Club at the time, and I remember this guy. This was when I was messing with girls, but I still was I started entertaining guys. I was letting them, suck my dick. And I say that because it plays a role in when we get further down in the story. But and the whole thing about me letting him do that at that time, that's all I was ready for. Was just, hey, top me off.
The time is your time.
Yeah, that's all I was ready for. So I'm at work. I knew this guy was a gay guy, and I just went up to him and popped my shit. And we end up, I end up letting him suck my dick.
Been in the streets. Been in the streets. Go on.
I end up letting this guy suck my dick. And I guess after that, I don't know, he just fell in love. I don't know. It just was a lot. And he was just it was just too much. And so
he was an employee.
Yeah, we both were, we both were employees. We both worked for Sounds.
Okay.
So everything was good until this girl made a comment, and she made a comment and it was about him. It was like some kind of a joke. And I'm like, oh, he didn't tell her. From whatever she had said, it included his name, and she wouldn't have never said that if he wouldn't have said anything. Mm-hmm. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm about to distance myself. So I kind of ghosted him because I felt like he was, running his mouth. So I was just like, okay, we're done. Right. So then that's when he started like being real petty. By this time, I ended up getting a promotion. And so I was his boss, and that, oh my God, so I had to communicate with him, and it just was so bad. He would always be being real smart and real angry, and everybody would be like, man, Pierre, you're so nice. I don't understand why he's so mean to you. And I'm like, I don't know. I did, though. I guess he was just mad at that day and just saying smart shit that whole day to me, and I'm being his manager. I'm just like, Lord. And then my manager finally pulled us aside and was like, okay, what is going on here? And then she called us both in the office. So yeah, she pulled us aside. We went in the manager's office. I just blurted out, me and Pierre have dated, and we've been dating, and da-da-da. And I just was so shocked because I'm like, bro, we was not dating. Like, where did you get this from? Like, he created this whole story that we was together. And it was just like, wow, I've never been outed before until that moment. And it happened literally in front of my face. Right. He outed me. Right? I wasn't out. That really was an experience. So I just walked out. When he said that, I just walked out. I just couldn't believe he said that. And then one of the managers came out and followed me, and she's like, is everything okay? I was like, that dude is lying. I even told the manager, I said, I let him suck my dick one time. That's what I said. And that was it. I sure did. She was like, just go in the bathroom, relax. I was shaking. I was so mad. And I went in the bathroom, and I let out a whole cry, child. I was in the bathroom stall. I slid down the bathroom stall like I was in Tony Braxton Unbreak My Heart video, y'all. Like I did one of them and grabbed.
Why did you
I slid down the stall.
One of them ugly cries.
But I will say, he did reach back out to me. I don't know how he found me. He found me on Instagram. He was like, I'm sorry, I was young, I was childish. At that time, when he had wrote me, I had to been about 25. I blocked him as soon as he wrote me, and I haven't heard of him since. But hey, I don't know. I'm just saying. But yeah, so that was a very traumatic experience that I had, And
do you think that today, if he did that you'll accept his apology?
Why would he apologize again?
Because at that time he wasn't ready to accept his apology. But let's suppose you ran into him and he reiterated it.
Oh yeah, I'll be like, oh, don't even worry about it.
Okay.
Stay blessed.
Oh my God, so much traumatic.
That's what I would say, but that'll be, I guess that's it.
You know, I just thought about it. I've been outed twice in my life.
Child, twice.
Twice.
Child, you making these motherfuckers mad, big mad.
I'm like, damn, like,
Why do these dudes be up in arms? Like, I ain't never out no nigga I fucked with before in my life.
But I've never
I do not understand that
I've
shit.
never told you this story because that is another story I forgot. I just literally just put it back there.
Spill the tea. Spill.
So, my very first gay traumatic experience is already on our channel. We have a video on here. I was outed. We're going to put it in the description. Go check out my first one with my family and all that stuff.
Before we go any further, we just wanted to show y'all a quick review from our friends at Furry Freshness. We actually partner with them on one of their cleaning products, and we just wanted to give y'all a little quick video of our experience with their product and what we think about it. So y'all check it out. All right, guys, we have partnered with Furry Freshness, a premium pet stain and smell remover, and we wanted to give y'all a quick review on the product. As you can see, this is Renaissance, still in the show as always, and that's the product. And I want to give him a little treat before we get started. There you go, Renaissance, he's so cute. But yeah, so this is me removing all the furniture out the way. I always like to do a nice quick little vacuum to get any big debris, you know, dog hair and all that fun stuff that animals tend to carry with them. And yeah, I'm just doing my little thing right here, and this is me doing the spray. And as you can see, it does not need much, and you do not even need a carpet cleaning machine. I don't have one. We don't have one. We literally just brushed it, and you do not have to even brush hard because trust me, it's gonna get those stains out and smells as well, and it's good for your furniture. As you can see, we kind of got some sway going on right here, and it worked perfect. It was very quick and easy. I just used a cloth actually with it, and it took care of everything. And that is, look at that. Just beautiful. It literally brought our furniture to life. I would recommend this for anybody at any time. It got all the smells out. I feel like we have brand new furniture again, and it's all because of this Furry Freshness. And be sure to check the link in the description. You will get 15% off if you use our promo code, which will be linked in the description. And yeah, check it out, y'all. Trust me, it's worth the buy.
The experience I really did not remember until just now was the second time I was outed. This is when I was living in Grenada. Wow, that is phenomenal.
What happened?
Child, I know why they mad enough. I mean, I know, I get it.
You can stay mad, child. Stay mad.
But nevertheless, so I'm in college, right? And I had met this guy a year prior who became my boyfriend. And we dated for 6 years, right? But the start of the relationship was hella hectic. Because there was 2 individuals he was entertaining before he met me. And after he met me and decided to move on from them to me, they were in their feelings. So much so, one of them was attending the same college I was attending, and he outed me.
Gays are messy.
At school, he outed me.
Okay, so paint that picture. So you at school, you're doing your work, you know, you doing your homework, and then you heard what happened. Paint that picture for me, because I need to know.
So he was mad because this dude used to fuck him, right? And in his account, it was the best sex of his life. Like the best of the best. And let me not be shady, but nevertheless, we didn't have the same experience. Let me just put it that way. And there was a notice from the principal's office for us, my name, his name, whoever other name, to come to the principal's office. I'm like, okay, cool. And there was a designated time as well. So I show up, he's there, and you know what it was? He started running around telling people that I was gay and I stole his man. That's what it was. And that is what started the feud. So much so we almost got into a physical altercation.
Ghetto.
At school. To the point where they were threatening expulsion. And this is college. This is not high school. This is us working on a degree. Right? And that's how we ended up in the principal's office. And that's how the whole thing just kind of blew up. And he did kind of back off then because the principal did give him this kind of stern shit that, you know, he had one chance. Because I also wrote a letter to the principal.
Not a note?
Letting them know that I was being harassed by this.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. So, wow, I really did not remember that. I just, like, that happened, and that was in my first year. And that shit just went back there. Yeah. And it's crazy because what made me remember that is when you said the dude reached out years later. He did reach out to me years later. And he had completely transitioned. Oh, wow. So he's now a she. I can't even remember the name it was on Facebook. But yeah. And I did the same thing. That was too much damage and trauma in my life that I was not in a place where I wanted to hear shit from you.
Exactly.
I didn't care. Like, don't even say shit to me. You're dead to me type of scenario. If I see him today, will it be different? I don't know. But that was a big deal for me because I spent all these years now in college being outed, being branded as gay. And then I went to all boys high school, which was really close to the college. So it's like, damn. Now all my friends from school who are all men wasn't trying to fuck with me no more. You just felt the difference in how the energy, you just feel it, and you always know. That's so wow, these have been experiences. And then even the experience with my family, me being outed at home, being put out by my dad and his family, and to this day they still don't fuck with me. So, it's just this. Two of my aunts, recently just one aunt who Pierre met, wanted to see me. And we had a conversation about a lot of those stuff for the first time in well over 10 years. And I haven't seen her. So, it's just been a really challenging experience for me, just with my family and just with people in general, where I'm just, again, being all nice and lighthearted, and I guess they take that for weakness.
I want to say, like...
So they always figure that they could try some sly shit and it's going to break me.
Yeah. Like, with me and my dad, I guess it's opposite, actually. My dad has definitely, like, he likes our posts. Like, he's definitely here for me and KJ. And I guess I still have to figure out even how to really be a son, just because I never had to be a son before. Like, I was a grown-ass man when he got out of prison. And when he went into prison, the last time I saw him was him being dragged out of the house. So within the time after he got out of prison, like, I don't feel like those early years he put in an effort to, like, get to know me. Like, because I felt like my whole thing at that time was, I'm not about to chase no man.
Right.
Like, you need to be chasing me.
Right.
And that's how I felt at that time. Now, I feel like our relationship is more so like brothers.
Right.
That's where I feel like we are now. And, maybe it'll get better.
And
Yeah. I mean, we both would like to have that, happy family.
It's not happening over here.
It's not happening on either one of our sides where we could just be like, oh, it's
all this shit
it's
about
holidays,
going home to our parents for Christmas. Child, this is the ghetto. Ain't none of that there. They'll come to our shit because, child, we can't go over there. Where we gonna go? And we really talk about it. We be like, damn, none of our families really have like some solid shit and some solid foundation and some real tools that they really passed on to us for our survival. We didn't get it.
Yeah. But then again, in both of our scenarios, it has been a lot of shit.
Yeah, I mean, they did what they could and they gave us the best that they could have. And I think in a lot of cases, we turned out phenomenal.
Right.
But yeah, we still learning and we still growing and we're still unpacking this journey. And the best part is it's together. So, one of the advice, if any, that we could give you is to really find somebody to speak to.
Yeah.
Because having somebody that you could trust to share these deep stories with. I mean, I didn't even intend to share that second story with you. About me being outed, but shit, what the heck.
Right.
It came up, so why not? Right, but yeah, definitely speak to somebody. If you don't have somebody, go to therapy.
Right. And
talk
check
to your best friend.
And
talk
check
to your mom. Your mom will never tell your business. Well, no, I take that back.
Right.
She be calling all
the
her
mom
friends.
is the first one to tell the business.
I just remember my mom, child. I know what to tell her and what to keep to myself. Tell my man and nobody else.
But listen, on a more serious note, guys, go to your HR team. Go check with them. I know a lot of jobs offer therapy. You can literally have...
Most jobs have an EAP service for employees.
And that's how I got into therapy myself, because my job offered a certain amount of free sessions, and then after that your insurance kicks in. So that has definitely helped me. So if you have the time, check with your HR consultant to see what benefits your job has when it comes to therapy.
Absolutely.
And also BetterHelp. That definitely is their name. Yeah, BetterHelp. It's an app you can download, and this part is not an ad.
Right, I'm saying, Charles, they
are not paying us, but it definitely is a great app for y'all to go to and check out. You do not have to go and meet somebody physically. You can literally set it up through your phone and be able to, talk to somebody. And if you need somebody that's, Hispanic or black or trans, they have all of that there. So
I mean, either way, you will find that from either of the services you choose.
BetterHelp.com. And the last one I'm gonna tell you about is because, again, most of our followers or subscribers are black. So we're gonna put another link in the description of another website that literally allows you to find black therapists. Somebody that looks like you, that may have went through some of the things you have and that you can relate to. It's all going to be in the description below, so, check it out.
Yeah. All right, cool. So with that being said, y'all, we hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Yes, comment.
That was as much as we could have unpacked today, because these experiences are not easy experiences. Even talking about it, every time you speak about it, it takes you back. And you relive that experience again. So we do understand fully why in a lot of cases we just kind of shut it away and we don't face it or try to relive it or speak about it. But for your happiness and for your peace of mind and for your mental health, we definitely recommend, even if it's not therapy, that you do find somebody you could speak about all these experiences with.
Exactly. And put in the comments, y'all. Of course, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. But put in the comments, if you are open. Again, this is the Gay Safe Space. This is a community. We want to talk. We will reply. Tell us about an experience that you feel comfortable with sharing in the comments that you might think now after watching this, hey, you know what? This was a traumatic experience that I feel safe with sharing with you guys. And then, we might leave a comment under that and let you know how we may feel as well. So this, again, Gay Safe Space.
If all else
Iyanla.
fails, look up Iyanla Van Zandt, because when I tell you, we watched so much of her seasons, and there's so much things in there we were able to identify with, and that sparked our own conversations and our own thought process, and there's things that we identified as well in our own experiences that we didn't identify before. Right, so look into that as a resort. If you don't feel like you want to go to therapy or you want to talk to anybody, at least that could give you a chance to really just open up and get some tools to deal with some stuff that you may not have had before. Right, so yeah, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching. Peace, love, and happiness.
Peace.